Hello, everyone. My name is John Vavrina, Vice President of Sales for Railbookers, and I'll be your host today. I'm going to spend some time explaining who we are, what we do, our top 5 scenic trips, and most importantly, I'll discuss some of the advantages that you have by booking through Railbookers, which isn't available anywhere else in the marketplace. So who are we? Well, Yankee Holidays was our first brand established 46 years ago in 1972. Now, in 2007, Yankee Leisure Group was formed as we were managing multiple brands. Today, we have 3 distinct brands: Yankee Holidays, Amtrak Vacations, and Railbookers. Now, you can almost think of it as 4 brands when you consider Via Rail Vacations by Railbookers. And we've had some good fortune. Every year has been our best for the past 6 years. And that includes this year, as we're entering 2018 with double-digit growth, which will make it our new best year ever. Now, just 6 years ago, Yankee Leisure Group was based solely in the Boston area. Today, we have offices in Southern California, London, and Beverly, Massachusetts. We have future plans to open up offices in Sydney, Australia, and Asia. But today, we're focusing on our Railbookers brand. Now, Railbookers has been servicing the UK and Australian markets since 2003, but we just introduced Railbookers to the US market at the end of 2017. So why travel on a rail vacation? Well, it's a bucket list experience. There's something really old school and charming about riding trains. Between the food car, the conductors, and the world flying by outside your window, there's a nostalgic appeal to train travel. Now, premier scenic routes. Traveling by train can be incredibly scenic. You can see cities, mountains, and rivers from the seat of a train. Train travel is just an all-around better, more relaxing experience than its air and car counterparts. Multi-country adventures. Well, traveling by train is simply fun. Trains make it an easy way to tick off multiple countries in one trip so that you can maximize your time on vacation without the need to go through lengthy check-in procedures and airport security. Convenience and relaxation. Have you ever been on a bus and need to go to the bathroom? Need a snack? Want to play cards with your traveling companions? Well, traveling by train is a much different experience. Since someone else is doing the driving, you're free to eat, drink, nap, and get up to stretch your legs whenever you like. You'll also never have to turn off your electronics or listen to a flight attendant give the safety spiel. And city to city. Well, most places in Europe, you can get right to the city center, unlike airports. Also, you can speed and comfort between cities such as Rome and Florence in just an hour and 39 minutes. Now, it can easily take 2 to 3 times that by motor coach, depending on what the traffic is like. Hey, do I hear goodbye road rage? And let me ask you this. Can you imagine sitting for several days on a bus from Vancouver to Toronto? Well, that's a very popular route on our Via Rail Vacations. A route that you would miss everything if you were to simply fly over in a plane. So why choose Railbookers? Well, we are rail experts. Do you want breakfast in London, lunch in Paris, and dinner in Switzerland? We can recommend the routes based on what your needs are. Insider access. With our direct contracts, we can book your rail vacation up to 18 months in advance. And try booking European rail elsewhere. In most cases, you're going to have to wait until 90 days prior to departure to get pricing and schedules. Flexibility. We can customize any package or build one from scratch based on what your needs are. And hassle-free bookings. We take care of all of it. The rail, the accommodations, sightseeing, transfers, even ferries and intercity travel. Right here, these are just some of our major partners that we have direct contracts with. Now, this insider access allows us not only to book your rail vacation up to 18 months in advance, before pricing and schedules are released to the public, but also to offer great values on a daily basis and special promotions, such as the one I'll be discussing in just a sec. Well, we do have a special booking offer. Save $100 per couple or $50 per person on the following packages. Now, you don't have to memorize these. We're actually going to go through what these packages are in just a couple minutes. But basically, all you need to do is book by March 28th. And you can mention this promotion code, but if you don't remember it, no worries. We'll have it at our reservations desk. Now, we'll be coming back to this slide later, but just take note, the special is on all these vacations that we're going to be talking about in just a few minutes. Now, you see all those colors? Those are all the different rail systems just in Europe. None of them talk to each other. But guess what? We've got direct contracts with all of them. So we make it easy for you. Now, many of you are familiar with our sister brand, Amtrak Vacations, in which we have packages on the Canadian. That's the red line. Well, through Railbookers, we run Via Rail Vacations, and we offer vacation packages on all of these lines. Well, except the Winnipeg to Churchill line, in which the train service has been suspended due to the closure of the railway infrastructure. Basically, bad weather's knocked it out. So what kind of vacations do we offer? Well, we have the Scenic Rail journeys, Bernina and Glacier Express, or the Canadian Rockies, just to name a couple. Classic journeys, those are your Prague, Vienna, and Budapest, or your Venice, Florence, and Rome. City breaks, think of these as a quick getaway for 2 or 3 nights, such as something like a business traveler would add a couple nights on or before a conference in places like Rome and London, Paris, and Berlin. Pre- and post-cruise journeys. Now, we frequently do these in conjunction with river cruise companies such as Viking and Uniworld, Avalon, Norwegian, Hurtigruten. That's just to name a few. Customizable rail vacations. Well, that's where we really excel. Like I said, if we don't have a package that fits your needs, we'll build one from scratch. Some of our top destinations are Italy and Switzerland, Spain and Portugal, North America and Scandinavia. Let's review a few of the top scenic journeys. And don't forget, you can download the attached flyer with our top selling destinations. If you have any questions, feel free to input them here into the question box. We'll be happy to provide you with an answer. Complete Scotland by rail. Well, this 9-day round-trip vacation from Edinburgh will bring you from the historic capital city to the dramatic coastlines of the Highlands to ancient castles and rugged landscapes, and even the Jacobite Steam Train, which was made famous in the Harry Potter films. Now, some of you may be asking yourself, what did he just say? Isn't it pronounced Edinburgh, similar to the way we pronounce Pittsburgh? Well, only if you're a tourist. And then there's also those who pronounce it as Edinburgh. But to sound like a local, you can pronounce the capital city as Edinburgh or Edinburgh. Well, you'll begin your journey with a 2-night stay in Edinburgh, Scotland's capital city, renowned for its heritage, culture, and festivals. You can take a long walk around the center to explore the World Heritage sites of the Old Town and New Town, as well as all the area's museums and galleries. Now, this vacation includes a skip-the-line entry ticket, where you'll be able to visit St. Margaret's Chapel, admire the dazzling crown jewels, learn all about the key battles of Scotland's history, and walk through the royal palace where Mary, Queen of the Scots, gave birth to her son. You can enjoy strolling the grounds of the imposing Edinburgh Castle, shopping along the Royal Mile, or discovering the delights in the National Museum of Scotland. Interestingly enough, Edinburgh Castle is actually built on an extinct volcano. And on a side note, the Royal Mile is actually 1 mile and 107 yards long. And for all you Harry Potter fans, K. Rowling wrote some of Harry Potter in Edinburgh Cafe, known as the Elephant, and she took inspiration from the landscapes for her characters and locations there. Well, you'll catch a train from Edinburgh to Fort William, where you'll pick up the famous Jacobite Steam Train. You will meander through some of the world's most stunning scenery, crossing the Glenfinnan Viaduct, which was made famous in the Harry Potter films. Now, this journey is often described as the greatest in the world, and the tracks twist past Ben Nevis, Loch Morar, and Loch Nevis itself. You'll have some time in Mallaig to explore before returning to Fort William, and transfer to the hotel in Glencoe for a 1-night stay before transferring back to Edinburgh for the next day. Well, then you will catch a train from Edinburgh to Inverness, riding north through the breathtaking scenery of the Scotland Highlands. And you know that Inverness meaning is mouth of the River Ness, and is the most northerly city in the United Kingdom. Now, earliest evidence of a settlement here is thought to date back to the 6th century, when it was a Pictish stronghold. Now, roughly one-third of the population of the Highlands of Scotland live in or close to Inverness, which is one of Europe's fastest-growing cities with a population of approximately 63,000. Well, during your time in Inverness, you'll embark on a scenic day tour to the mysterious Loch Ness, the world's most mythical phenomena. On this tour, you will drive through the highlands of Clansman Harbor and cruise across the tranquil waters of Loch Ness to the lost world of Urquhart Castle. Here, you will have a guided tour that teaches all the secrets of the past. Now, the Loch Ness is 23 miles long and about a mile wide and holds more fresh water than all the lochs and lakes in England and Wales combined. And don't worry, you'll also have plenty of time to learn all there is to know about the Loch Ness Monster, affectionately known as Nessie, and hopefully have all your questions answered. Also included in this package is a day trip over to the Isle of Skye, one of the most beautiful corners of the globe. Now, the 50-mile-long island is filled with history such as clans and castles, historic churches, cleared villages, and fossils stretching back to the age of the dinosaurs. You will cross the Skye Bridge and stop for lunch with time to explore for all the islands, such as the home of the famous author Gavin Maxwell. What's really important to note is the Isle of Skye is home to the distillery of one of my favorite scotches, known as Talisker. Oh, and by the way, Scotch is whiskey made in Scotland, while bourbon is whiskey made in the USA, generally Kentucky. Scotch is made from malted barley, while bourbon is distilled from corn. If you're in England and you ask for a whiskey, you'll get a Scotch. Anywho, the next day you will be traveling back to Edinburgh, where you will spend your day at leisure and one more night overnight in the Scottish capital. Now, if you have time for more vacation, why not catch a train down to London to experience the English capital city? Our reservations team can make that happen. Here we have Scenic Switzerland from Zurich. Now, this trip really could be called the best of Switzerland. It includes the 3 most scenic trains, the Bernina Express, the Glacier Express, and the Golden Pass, as well as a day trip to the top of Europe, also known as Jungfrau Joch. And for all you Disney fans, great views of the Matterhorn along the Gornergrat Cog Railway. By the way, this trip starts from Zurich. However, you could have it start from Basel or basically any other point in Switzerland. Now, you'll arrive in St. Moritz for a 2-night stay. St. Moritz is about 5,900 feet above sea level in the snowy heights of the stunning Swiss Alps, and is said to have some of the freshest air in all of Europe. With 320 days of sunshine a year and the most exclusive ski resort in the world, St. Moritz is a spectacular place to spend time with glacier landscapes and surrounding mountain peaks. At night, you could enjoy some of the classic glitz and glamour of the St. Moritz Casino. Well, next day, you will board one of the world's most scenic journeys, the Bernina Express. Now, the Bernina Express is what all toy train sets aspire to be. The stunning scenery will take your breath away as you explore the Swiss Alps. The spectacular Brugio Spiral Viaduct, which is pictured here, is only one of the amazing 55 tunnels and 196 bridges and viaducts of this UNESCO World Heritage Site. Now, once you cross the border into Toronto, Italy, you'll have enough time to enjoy a home-style Italian lunch before boarding back onto the Bernina Express to take you back to St. Moritz and enjoy all the sights you missed the first time around. Well, after a good night's sleep in St. Moritz, you'll board the Glacier Express, traveling to Zermatt. Now, the Glacier Express is known as the slowest express train in Europe, with an average speed of 24 miles an hour. The full route takes about 8 hours and includes the impressive Landwasser Viaduct, which is a marvel of Swiss engineering from a bygone era. The panoramic windows provide great scenery and a perfect background to purchase lunch on board for approximately $30 to $45. You'll arrive in Zermatt, check into the hotel for a 2-night stay, and enjoy the pedestrianized village, famed for its history as a mountaineering base. Now, Zermatt is a car-free town and is only accessible by train, taxi, or helicopter. Zermatt is the highest and largest all-year-round ski area in the world, as it sits at the foot of the highest peak in Switzerland. The town sits at a height of 5,300 feet and is home to 5,800 residents. There's guaranteed snow 365 days a year, and during the summer season, the chairlifts and cable cars will carry the hikers. When the winter season comes, they'll take the skiers. Get some rest and enjoy the evening before taking on a full day trip on the Gornergrat Cog Railway. Well, after breakfast in Zermatt, you'll ride the Gornergrat Cog Railway, which climbs over 5,200 feet above sea level. Now, for those of you who are unsure, a cog railway train has a large tooth-like gear that continues to grab the train tracks in order to ascend steep heights. Think of it like a mountain climber who's climbing a mountain step by step. Now, this railway is actually the first fully electric cog railway in Switzerland. Along the way, you will enjoy spectacular views, including the iconic Matterhorn. And trust me when I say the Matterhorn in Disneyland cannot even come close to the views you'll see from the Gornergrat. When you get to the top, you'll be in the clouds. You can enjoy lunch and take in the glorious view of the Matterhorn. It'll be an unforgettable day. You can make the most of your Swiss pass by traveling to Lausanne at the time of your choosing. As Zermatt to Lausanne is a short 3-hour train ride, allowing you to sleep in, explore more of Zermatt, or grab an early train to the home of the International Olympic Committee headquarters, known as Lausanne. Now, on your way to Lausanne, you will enjoy some wonderful views across Lake Geneva, and you'll have no problem getting around Lausanne on arrival, as it is the smallest city in the world to have a metro. Well, you'll enjoy breakfast at the hotel before taking a short hop over to Montreux, where you will board the Golden Pass train. Now, these ultramodern trains have some unique features. In addition to being extremely comfortable, you're also fitted with specially designed panoramic windows that allow you to immerse yourself in the nature outside. Once you've climbed on board, the train seems to almost disappear, allowing you to be one with the landscape. The sensation far surpasses even the most high-tech cinematic technologies. There's a good reason why so many Bollywood film directors are attracted to the region's magnificent natural scenery. On arrival in Lucerne, you'll check in for a 3-night stay. You'll have a day trip to the top of Mount Pilatus, a trip that's said not to be missed by anyone, and a one-of-a-kind authentic Swiss experience. You'll enjoy a boat trip on Lake Lucerne and a view of the surrounding mountains. The amazement continues as you board the steepest cogwheel railway in the world. While a normal train can only ascend at a maximum of gradient of 7 to 10 degrees, this cogwheel railway ascends gradients of up to an amazing 48 degrees in about 30 minutes. Well, at the top, there's a historic Pilatus Club hotel and restaurant where everyone can enjoy refreshments or one of the numerous walking trails. But beware of the legendary dragon who has magical healing powers and lives in the mountain. Well, after soaking up the wonderful views, make your way back down the mountain via jaw-dropping gondola and cable car ride to Creans and a short bus ride to Lucerne. Well, the following day, you'll take a short trip to Interlaken. Well, you'll take an excursion to Jungfrau Joch, also known as the top of Europe, which many say is a highlight to any visit to Switzerland. Now, to reach the peak, you not only get to enjoy the magnificent the Jungfrau region near Interlaken, but you also get to experience the Jungfrau Bahn, which is Europe's highest altitude railway. Now, this cogwheel train climbs up the mountain at an amazing elevation of 11,333 feet, on a slope that sometimes reaches 25 degrees. That's quite impressive if you think about it. Well, no wonder this is one of the most popular train journeys in the world. Once you reach the top, however, you can marvel in awe at the amazing view, which on a clear day can be as far as the Black Forest of Germany and France. While tunnels of ice, polished as smooth cut glass, lead through the so-called Ice Palace at Jungfrau Joch, which offers a frosty reception at 26 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, you may take this opportunity to walk on a glacier, explore the Sphinx Observatory, grab a bite to eat at one of the restaurants, and shop the world's highest chocolate shop. On your way back down the mountain, our route takes you through a village of Lauterbrunnen, from where you'll get a good view of a gorgeous waterfall. You will enjoy your final evening in medieval lakeside Lucerne. Cinque Terre via the Alps. Sestri Levante is a beautiful little town at the Ligurian Riviera, approximately halfway between Genoa and La Spezia. Now, the picturesque resort of Sestri Levante is a real hidden gem, and there's no better hub for exploring the sparkling waters and multicolored patchwork houses of the Cinque Terre. This once quiet fishing village is slowly turning into a tourist hotspot and is quite a favorite amongst Italians. You'll have a night in Geneva to enjoy Switzerland's famous fondue at a local lakeside restaurant or a relaxing boat trip on the lake with the Swiss Alp backdrop before heading over to Italy. You'll take in the spectacular scenery of the Simplon Pass from Geneva to Milan. Now, the Simplon Pass was used as early as the Stone Age, but up into the 17th century, it was used mainly by smugglers and mercenaries. However, the brig merchant Prince Caspar began to use the Simplon Pass in the middle of the 17th century for bringing salt on the backs of mules from the Mediterranean. It goes without saying that this trading made him immensely rich. You'll end up with 4 nights in Sestri Levante to explore the island's atmosphere, sitting on the coastline with its pastel-painted cliffside houses, ancient Roman roots, and quiet beaches. From the train station, you can walk down to the beautiful old town with narrow streets and elegant shops. And don't miss the gelateria in town, known as Ice Cream Angels, and is located on the left side of the main street. There are also lots of nice restaurants with great seafood. Now, the Bay of Silence is a public sandy beach east of the pedestrian street in the old town, where you'll end up finding many locals. This is probably the most beautiful beach in Liguria. And if you're up to the cardio, don't miss the walk up the village's steep staircase to visit one of the town's castles that overlooks the city. We recommend a day trip to the town of Portofino. It's a historic fishing village that would be a picturesque-filled day. Or you could hop on a local train for a 20-minute ride to Monterosso, the closest of the Cinque Terre towns. Travel between each of the 5 towns of Cinque Terre takes about 5 minutes by train. Well, maybe you'll want to extend this trip and see Florence and Rome. Give us a call. We'd be more than happy to add on the rail transportation and hotel accommodations to best meet your desired Italian vacation. Our Bergen, Flam, and Oslo package with train, bus, and boat transportation, as well as 3 hotel nights, is a great bonus for those who are ending a cruise in Bergen. You'll start your first night in Bergen, which is Norway's second largest city and known as the gateway to the fjords. Now, this amazing city is known for their full harbors, spectacular views, and their rich town history as a major shipping center. The nautical sites include the colorful buildings of the Wharf, which is a UNESCO World Heritage Site and is home to many of the city's best shops, restaurants, and bars. Founded in 1070 by Norwegians under the rule of post-Viking king Olaf III, Bergen soon became the largest city of medieval Norway and remained Norway's leading city until the rise of Oslo in the 19th century. Now, the center of Bergen was rebuilt after a severe fire in 1916. Nevertheless, the city retains many impressive monuments of its medieval past. Also, around 10% of the population in Bergen are students, which adds the fresh and youthful mood to the city's vibe, alongside its offerings of museums, art galleries, cultural events, and dining opportunities. Well, after breakfast, you will take an early train from Bergen to Voss. Once you arrive in Voss, you will board a very scenic bus route to Gudvangen before taking a ferry through the fjords to Flam. Now, the ferry will take you on a breathtaking cruise throughout the narrowest fjord in the world. Once you arrive in Flom, the rest of the night is to stroll the village and enjoy authentic Norwegian cuisine. Surrounded by steep, snow-capped mountains, thundering waterfalls, and green meadows, and picturesque farms, the storybook village of Flom only has 350 residents, but attracts nearly 450,000 visitors each year. Well, Flom, along with other small farming villages among Norway's breathtaking fjords and mountains, served as the inspiration for Disney's hit film Frozen. Now, the Viking-style Ager Brewery in Flom produces an award-winning handcrafted beers. Visitors can enjoy lunch or dinner in the brew pub, or enjoy a beer and aquavit tasting before resting up for tomorrow's next adventure. After breakfast, you will board the world-famous Flom Railway that goes from Flom to Myrtle. Now, this incredible journey, which has been voted one of the most scenic rail journeys in the world, will be passing rugged mountains, deep valleys, thundering waterfalls, and providing simply awe-inspiring views. The train climbs nearly 3,000 feet in an hour and it takes to ascend, and it stops at an amazing waterfall along the way. Well, once you arrive at Myrtle, you will continue on your journey on the Bergen Railway to Oslo for a one-night stay. You can spend the rest of the day exploring the cosmopolitan Norwegian capital. You can head up to the medieval castle, which offers breathtaking views over the Oslo fjord. Alternatively, you could visit one of Oslo's wide choice of museums and take a boat out to the peninsula. Or you could even stay in the center of town and see Edward Munch's The Scream painting at the National Gallery. One-third of the country is in the Arctic Circle, hence the nickname Land of the Midnight Sun. And a saying in Norway is, there's no such thing as bad weather, only bad clothing. So make sure you dress appropriately. Now, who doesn't have the Canadian Rockies on their bucket list? Trans-Canada and Rockies Adventure with the Rocky Mountaineer. Now, this is a great package that includes both the true train experience of sleeping overnight on Via Rail and the luxury experience of the Rocky Mountaineer, all at an affordable price. Starting in Toronto, which is the capital of the Canadian province of Ontario, it's arguably one of the most interesting places in the world. Its history is so rich and extensive that there's always some fact about the city that takes people by surprise. Anyway, Toronto has 301 days of measurable sunshine, and about 25% of Hollywood movies are actually filmed in Toronto. And it's the third largest city for English theater, just behind New York and London. Now, the Path is the largest continuous underground shopping mall in North America, featuring over 1,200 stores. The CN Tower, 1,815 feet tall, was the tallest freestanding structure in the world up until 2007. Most importantly, Toronto is home to 8,100 restaurants and bars, representing about 7% of all businesses in the city. As you can see, there's plenty for you to do, and your included hop-on, hop-off sightseeing tour will get you there. On day 2, you'll take a guided tour to the Niagara Falls. The Niagara Falls were created by glacier activity about 10,000 years ago. And at the current rate of erosion, scientists believe that Niagara Falls will be gone in around 50,000 years. So get there while there's still time. But seriously, Niagara Falls is visited by around 30 million people every year. And here's a tip. You're almost always guaranteed to see a rainbow if you're on the Canadian side of the falls. And that's what we sell. Now, to capture this beautiful phenomenon, be sure to grab your camera and visit from about noon until the sun sets. Well, Canadian is a Via Rail train that will take you from Toronto to Jasper, a different experience than the Rocky Mountaineer, as you'll sleep overnight on this train for a true train experience. And we're going to be reviewing the sleeping accommodations in just a few minutes. However, the views are amazing, the food is fantastic, and the experience is to die for. Jasper is an alpine town in Canada's Alberta province and is the commercial center of Jasper National Park. Jasper and Banff are frequently sold-out towns with a limited supply of accommodations, but Railbookers has inventory in these highly sought-out destinations. Now, included in this package is a sightseeing tour in which you'll see many breathtaking sights, including Malign and Medicine Lake. You'll also stand above the massive walls of Malign Canyon for stunning views of the rushing waterfalls. Also included in this package is a chance to get up and close and personal with massive glaciers during an interactive ride on the Ice Explorer. Make sure to take a water bottle so you can take some of the best tasting water in the world to drink later. Now, if one picture describes the beauty of the Canadian Rockies, this is it. You'll get a chance to explore and get some great pictures of Lake Louise, where you'll be spending the evening. Now, Banff is located at an elevation of 4,537 feet, making it the highest town in Canada. The Banff Gondola is included in this package, where you can journey to the top of Sulphur Mountain, which rises to an elevation of 8,041 feet, and will provide you with a great bird's eye view of both Banff National Park and the Canadian Rockies. Well, the Rocky Mountaineer will not only unlock a world of unparalleled beauty as you carve your way through the Canadian Rockies aboard the All Dome fleet, but also offers complete luxury. Now, the two classes of service are Silverleaf and Goldleaf, both of which provide domed cars for spectacular views. In a nutshell, the difference between them are as follows. Silverleaf are single-level dome cars, as pictured in the bottom left, while Goldleaf has seating on top level of a bi-level car, as seen in the second picture. Beneath the top level of Goldleaf is seating for the dining car for Goldleaf travelers, as seen in the third picture on the bottom. Now, Silverleaf includes gourmet meals, which is the same as Goldleaf, but the meals are served at their seats. And complimentary beverages, including alcohol, are included for both classes, as is baggage delivery to the hotel. Well, after spending a night in Kamloops and 2 days of spectacular scenery on board the Rocky Mountaineer, you'll arrive in Vancouver. Now, Vancouver has been ranked as the 10th cleanest city in the world. There's the mildest climate in Canada and the highest real estate prices. In 2011, the average price of a detached home was a staggering $1.2 million. Some say this is close to rivaling New York City and London. Now, you have a hop-on, hop-off sightseeing pass included, which will bring you to all the major sites, including the Gastown Steam Clock, Stanley Park Totem Poles, Canada Place, and many more. Well, let's spend a few minutes discussing the accommodations on board Via Rail, from economy to sleeping berths, cabins, and prestige class. Now, economy class, also known as coach, is great for students and passengers on a budget. You get complimentary access to a dome car. Food is available for you to purchase from takeout stands located in the dome car. Think of muffins and sandwiches, sodas, beer, and wine, chips. And depending on availability, coach passengers may be able to access the dining car and purchase hot meals prepared on board chefs. Now, we do have some packages that the economy class may work for. This particular class, going from Toronto all the way to Jasper, you're talking several nights on the train, and I would not recommend sitting in coach when you don't have access to a shower for several days. Next up is the Sleeper Plus class, berths, upper and lower. They're going to be colored in yellow on the next slide. And berths are the most economical entry to the Sleeper Plus class. The picture on the right shows the berth during the daytime. The picture on the left shows berths at night. There is privacy at night as a heavy curtain encloses the sleeping area, separating the upper and lower berths. You also get freshly prepared meals in the dining car, which are included in the fare, as is access to several dome cars. Restrooms are at the end of the sleeping car, just a few steps from the berth accommodation. If you look at the upper left-hand corner in yellow, that's where the berths are located that we just spoke about. Now, cabins for one can be seen here in purple. They have a door that locks from the inside and a covered toilet. They're a love seat by day with large window to enjoy the passing scenery, as seen in the picture on the lower right. They include a sink with running hot and cold drinking water, as well as access to the shower down the hall. The entire space turns into a bed at night, similar to a first-class pod on an airline, as seen in the picture on the lower left. Also, freshly prepared meals in the dining car are included in the fare. Now, cabins for two are up next and are colored in green on this slide. Cabins for two, like the cabin for one, features a door that locks from the inside. 2 large chairs during the day, and a large window to enjoy the scenery from the room. Also included is a private toilet and vanity with hot and cold drinking water, as well as shower access in the car at the end of the hallway. Freshly prepared meals by a chef in the dining car are included in the fare as well. And here we have Prestige Class, which I like to refer to as the ultimate experience. A spacious cabin that's 50% larger than our cabin for two. Includes a leather L-shaped couch by day. See the lower left-hand picture there. Now look at the upper left. That's a double bed for two by night, which is facing the window. Now this class includes radiant heated walls and floors in the cabin, as well as a concierge to take care of your needs. This is the only class in which you get a private washroom with a shower inside the cabin. Now the Prestige lounges pictured on the right offer complimentary bar service, snacks, specialty coffees, and a variety of activities such as wine tasting, interactive talks on local history, geography, and culture. All part of the Prestige sleeper car experience. And here we have the dining car. Now, all meals on board the Canadian are prepared fresh and are ordered off a menu with 4 choices per meal. Vegetarian options are always available, and special requests can be made. The menu reflects the location the train is traveling through. So, for example, you may find seafood on the menu as we approach the Pacific Coast, beef and lamb in the prairies, and fish from the Great Lakes in northern Ontario. Well, meals are included for all Sleeper Plus and Prestige Class passengers. And by the way, Canadian wines and beers are served throughout the train. So why choose Railbookers? Well, let's just recap here. We're rail experts. Our expertise is not just the destinations, as with many tour operators. We're experts in the train systems all over the world and the best route to take based on your needs. Our insider access with our direct contracts, we can book your rail vacation up to 18 months in advance. Try booking European rail elsewhere. In most cases, you're going to have to wait until 90 days prior to departure to get pricing and schedules. Flexibility. We can customize any package or build one from scratch based on your needs. Hassle-free bookings. Well, we take care of the rail, the accommodations, sightseeing, transfers, even ferries and intercity travel, all in one reservation. If you need some ideas, well, our rail vacation itineraries are easy to find on our website. Just go to railbookers.com, click on destinations, and then the continent. How do I book, you ask? Just call us, or call your local travel agent who can provide you with a wealth of information and that personal touch you may be looking for. You can also submit an electronic request a quote from our website to get pricing and have us call you. And don't forget, you can download the attached flyer with our specials. Also, if you have any questions, please enter them here. I may not get to all of them on the presentation, but we can follow up afterwards. So how about those details on that special? Well, here we are back to the special booking offer for those of you who are attending this webinar. Save $100 per couple or $50 per person on any of the packages that we went over today. And again, we can customize these. So let me just go through some of these questions and see if I can sum them up. Can I do a cross-Canada package starting in Vancouver instead of Toronto? Yes, we can easily reverse or customize any of our vacations, including going across Canada. A similar question is someone asked me earlier today was the route that the Rocky Mountaineer takes. Is it a nicer views than the Via Rail? And funny enough, we actually do that same route on Via Rail as well. It's actually the same tracks. Now, if you look at the entire package in full, the Canadian Rockies is the most scenic piece of that entire package. But it is the entire route is actually a very scenic route, and is very popular. How can I order a brochure? Well, simply go to our website, www.railbookers, and scroll to the bottom where it states request a brochure. Now, keep in mind, our brochure only, probably includes less than 5% of what we can offer, but it's still a good starting point, especially since it contains our most requested vacations. A better shot is actually going onto our website or even giving us a call so we can walk you through if you have, you have a bunch of questions. And let's see. Great question from Peggy here. With the economy class, can you get off and catch another train later? It depends on how you look at that. We certainly could arrange that for you, but keep in mind this is these are long distance trains. So later maybe depending on the time of year, maybe 1 to 3 days later. Um, if it's the Canadian Rockies, then along that way, not really. You do get off in Kamloops. Um, even though those trains do run every, that route, at least for the Via Rail, will run every day. You can get on and off, but it just doesn't make you're stuck for 24 hours, is what I'm saying. It's not like a train comes every couple of hours or every hour or so, so that you could easily, jump off and jump on. Another great question. Are your vacations guided tours? So they are not. This is independent travel, which is why we're able to customize any one of the packages. Also gives us the ability to run, as long as the trains are running, we can run any vacation package about 365 days a year. Um, and we can make those changes because you're not traveling with a guide with 30 other people. So if you wanted to spend an extra couple nights in Jasper or something along those lines, you can do that. It's not like, well, the rest of the group is going, so you're out of luck because we can't. We're inflexible. We can't change if you're going with a guide. We do have some in different parts of the country. We will have, or different parts of Europe. We do have some daytime guided tours, but the actual entire package is not guided. Well, thank you everyone for joining us. I look forward to having you call in and speak to our reservation staff, and hopefully we can build or make one of those bucket list vacations come true for you. I appreciate you tuning in today, and have a fantastic day.